Hey guys, it's Mishal, and this is Q&A with Mishal, episode number 3. In this episode, we are talking about performance anxiety. We are talking about unhealthy competition. We are talking about my extroverted personality. We are also talking about the qualities I look into employees when I'm hiring. And we are also talking about why did I leave my high-paying job. So let's not waste our time. Let's jump right into it. Rahi, what's my question number 1?
So the first question is, we have so many students in India are going through performance anxiety during exam. They are always panicking closer to the date. What steps they can do to overcome this performance anxiety?
Let me give you a personal example. When I was growing up in school, colleges, or even I was doing my master's degree in accounting, I always had major anxiety issues around exams. I was always petrified by the exam because I actually, in my heart and soul, believed that if I wanted to do really well in my life, later in my life, financially, I have to do extremely well in the exam. So I always put myself under a lot of pressure. So every time I'm basically studying for the exams, I don't care about what I'm studying. There is no curiosity into it. Like, for example, if I'm studying anything about the history, I'm only studying for the grades. I did not have any curiosity to know something about the history. If I'm studying the science, I'm not studying with a sense of awe. I am just studying for the grades because I only wanted to study so I can get into the good college. I can get into the good postgraduate college, or and later I wanted to get into a good job, right? For me, it was always about sort of making money, right? And that's why I put myself under a lot of pressure. And every time you are under stress while you are studying, okay, you are never ever going to perform well, right? And I've actually made this video about how what stress does it to our mind, body, and soul. And we're gonna put the link somewhere here, and we're gonna put the thumbnail here as well. So every time we are under stress, our body releases a chemical called cortisol, and cortisol has the ability to reduce your IQ by, let's say, 50% in the first 7 minutes. So now imagine that you are about to step into one of the most important exams of your life, and now you are panicking, you are under stress. Your body is stripping cortisol in your adrenaline gland and in your bloodstream, and your IQ is compromised. So obviously that's going to affect your performance in the exam, right? Once you have around sort of 3 to 5 years of work experience, you'll actually learn more than what you've learned in the last 25 years of schools and the colleges combined. So don't study for the grades. Don't study for the money. Okay, the money is going to come once you sort of learn how to use the information that you study in the schools and colleges, how to use that information to produce some tangible results. And that can only happen once you spend enough time in the grind, once you spend enough time in the trenches.
So thank you. This is going to be helpful for everybody out there watching this video. So the second question is, did you always know what you wanted to do in life? Also, how did you come up with this idea of starting your own business?
Okay, so this is, I again need to give you some sort of a backstory, right? Now, as I said, when I was growing up, I do not actually come from an extra wealthy family, okay? We come from a middle class family. So when I was sort of growing up, I basically started noticing that um, my parents making a lot of sacrifices so I can have and my sister can have the best education. We can go to the school trips and stuff like that. And when I was kid, that was okay. But when I go into college, I started realizing that okay, these guys are making sort of a lot of sacrifices so we can have whatever the hell we want, and that really cut me deep. So I made a decision pretty early in my life that okay, when I grow up, I might have sort of 10,000 problems. Money's not going to be one of them. And ever since then, everything I ever did was about, okay, I basically wanted to solve that problem. I wanted to get the money problem out of the way like pretty early in my life. So, as I said, and because of that decision, and I must have been like 15 or 16 at the time. So so I thought when I got into the college, I thought, okay, the chartered accountants make a lot of money. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna pursue accounting for my master's. I'm gonna do CPA, and this is what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life. And the moment I stepped into college and the university, I realized, okay, I like accounting. I used to teach my friends accounting, but I can't do this 24/7. Okay, and then I got into sort of sales and marketing, and I started enjoying it because I come from a family where everyone is working for themselves. Everyone is a business owner and stuff. So I always related to that. I always wanted to do something by myself, and sales and marketing was something I was kind of interested. But the moment I started doing it, I realized, okay, I really like this. For the first time in my life, I wasn't stressed about how much money I'm going to make out of this. For the first time, like everything I ever wanted to do when I was in school and the college, I always wanted to do things that are gonna make me a lot of money. For the first time, when I started doing the sales, I had my first conversation with my client. I was not worried about making money. So that was the moment I realized, okay, I don't know how much money I'm going to make, okay, but this is what I really want to do for the rest of my life. Second question is about how did I come up with my own business idea, right? What I realized, you are a better human being when you are performing well, right? When you are productive at your work, you're going to be nicer to your spouse. You're going to be nicer to your kids. When someone needs a help financially, okay, and you are actually doing really good work, you're making a lot of money, you can help that person out. What happens is when someone who's really close to you comes to you for financial help and you haven't got things sorted for yourself, you're always going to come up with some kind of practical reason and going to give them all the bullshit reason and tell them why you can't help them, right? So I thought, okay, if I can coach and train people and help them achieve sort of great results at their workplace, they can be a better human being. And understand this, I talk about money a lot because money is extremely important, right? Anyone who's saying that the money is not important, no, they are actually lying, right? And you don't understand the importance of money when someone in your family is really sick, and the only way to save them is to give them the best medical treatment. If you haven't got the money sorted out at the time, you're gonna be desperate, right? So, but money is only 1% of the things we are trying to achieve in a lifetime, right? The problem with 95% of the people is they are 55 and 60 that they're still trying to solve the money problem out. And that was the thought behind starting my own consulting firm and training and coaching firm.
Okay, so the third question is, what qualities do you look into an employer while hiring?
When I hire, is I am not looking for the grades they had in the school, the colleges. I don't care how many years of experience they have, because I believe that with experience comes a lot of ego. I have seen people with 5, 10, 15 years of experience in the industry I was working in, and they couldn't cope up with the pressure and they quit their job in the first 6 weeks, right? So when I started hiring people, I would only look at like three things: empty pocket, hungry stomach, and something to prove to someone, right? So I basically took on people who are fresh out of the high school, drop out of the high school, and if they have a little bit of desire to do something really good with their life, then I'm going to teach them everything I know. I basically put all the knowledge, all the experiences I've acquired over the years, I put it on the table for them to learn something out of it, right? So I don't, because I had other managers and other people in my company who were also hiring people. They were looking for the people with the highest amount of experience. They were not looking if this person can put in the work. Can this person work harder? Can this person work over the weekend? How much money they want to make? When every time I'm hiring someone, it's not about what the company can do for you. You're going to get your base salary. You're going to get your commission. That's okay, but what can you do for us? And with a lot of experience comes a lot of ego. They do not want to do things that made them successful in the first place, only because they've got 50,000 years of experience. They do not want to get their hands dirty. They're looking for the low-hanging fruit, right? But when someone's got only 10 dollars sitting in their account. They've got a mortgage payment. They've got to look after the parents, and or they've got someone in their family, like their spouse or girlfriend, who always putting them down. They want to prove someone wrong, really, really bad. They're gonna put in the work. Okay, they're gonna put in 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day. They're gonna work over the weekend. They're gonna come half an hour early, right? They're gonna be the last one to leave the building. This is what I'm looking for, because I know that this is where I'm going to get the best return out of my investment.
So, social media has a massive influence over our lives these days and has always given rise to plenty of unhealthy competition. How we can deal with it more effectively?
So here's the thing about the competition. If your performance is always predicated on the performance of other people, basically the performance of your competition, you're always going to be at the mercy of your competition. As long as your competition is working really hard, pushing and shoving, working really, really hard, grinding it out every single day, because you want to compete with the person so bad that it's gonna increase your performance, right? It's gonna take your performance to the whole new level, because your whole identity is wrapped around performing better than the other person. So all your strategies, all your tactics revolves around the performance of your competitor. So one day you get up and you see that your competitors doesn't exist anymore. What's gonna happen to your performance? Right? You're gonna lose all your drive. Okay, you're gonna lower your standard almost immediately. You're gonna stop showing up early for work. You're gonna stop grinding, right? You should never try and compete with anyone. The only person you are competing against is your own self. When you are producing any kind of work, instead of focusing on other people's performance, all you are trying to do is you're trying to produce work better than the yesterday. All you are trying to do is, instead of trying to get better than the person sitting next to you, your competition, you need to put all your energy, all your focus towards becoming a better version of yourself. Simple example, iPhone 1, right? What iPhone 2 can do, iPhone 1 cannot do. Right now we got an iPhone 12. Why do you think we need to go for an iPhone 12 instead of going for iPhone 5? Because with iPhone 12 we can do more things, right? The performance of the software is more advanced. Same way, you should never ever try and compete with anyone else. Okay, the only person you are competing against is your previous self, right? And again, what you really want to do is, you do not want to compete in the marketplace. You want to dominate your space. You want to be the best person in your space. Apple doesn't compete with anyone. Apple dominates. Coca-Cola doesn't compete with anyone. Coca-Cola dominates. And that should be your mindset.
Okay, so I would like to conclude this conversation with the last question. Were you always an extroverted person?
So again, when I was in school and college, I was a really cocky kid, because I was always surrounded by people who always extremely opinionated, right? So I had to be cocky to make my voice heard. But then the moment I stepped into the college, I immediately realized that everyone around me are more talented than I ever was. This is what I really wanted to be, right? So I basically just went into my sort of shell, and I become a really introverted guy. And then even when I was doing my master's degree, I was like really shy, really intro. I became really introverted because I just had this realization that I still have to work extremely hard to acquire sort of more skills. I just did not have the bandwidth to be extroverted guy. I did not have any knowledge. I did not have any skills. But then once I sort of stepped into the workforce, started working on myself, started becoming a better version of myself, then what? And I started reading a lot of books. Because when I was in school and colleges, I was looking for a lot of answers, and I did not have a lot of people to look up to that I can go to with my problems, with the internal struggles that I was facing. So I started looking for the answers in the book, and then I started getting more perspective about the life and everything. And then once I got into the workforce, once I had a lot of experience in my space, then I became extroverted. Like, I am still introverted guy with 99% of the things in my life. right? If you are going to ask me anything other than my work, other than my line of work and my line of expertise, I'm always going to keep my mouth shut. If I don't have any opinion, if I don't have enough information about something, I always believe in keeping my mouth shut. But then when it comes to my work, because I have a lot of experience, I've built things from the scratch without a lot of resources, and now I have a lot of references in my head. Now I can talk about my work. I can be extroverted about my work all day long. I could do this in my sleep. So that's the wrap for Q&A with Mishal, episode number 3. If you want me to answer any of your problems, any of your questions, please comment at the bottom, submit your question, and I'm gonna try and answer those questions in the next episode, or we might even feature you in one of our videos. Okay, so please type away your question at the comment section. So thanks for watching the video. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you next time.